only plant that not only can feed you, can clothe you, can warm you with its oil, but more importantly can also cure you.
I think marijuana should be mandatory. Really, it helps in so many capacities. It's medicine for me.
Cannabis has been the first thing that's happened to us in the last 30 years that's actually given us an economic boost.
There's been a lot more people here. I don't feel as safe. You know, I worry about my kids.
It's money over our health and safety.
Pueblo's a county of 165,000 people. It's 2,400 square miles. It's about the size of Rhode Island. It's an old steel town, blue-collar, hard-working folks.
Until the 70s, Pueblo was an economic powerhouse. Its steel mill was the main industry for the region. It was the sole employer and lifeline to the town.
When the economy turned in the late 70s and early 80s, employment went from their full 25,000 people down to hundreds, and it decimated the community. And since then, Pueblo has just lagged because we had a single industry that went away.
In 2000, Colorado legalized the production, sale and distribution of medicinal marijuana. Then in 2012, they legalized adult use of marijuana. To many, this was the kickstart the local economy needed.
Definitely the cause of the revival of Pueblo County, that's for sure. 1 in every $2 spent in this county's construction budget are from cannabis industry dollars. The last time that there was an official count, it was over 1,300 employees. It's to the point now where 1 out of every 10 people that you see walking down the street is employed in the cannabis industry.
Los Sueños Farms is located in Pueblo, Colorado. It's 36 acres developed of a potential 272 acres. Currently today is the largest cannabis farm on the planet. We have a 36,000 cannabis plant count. We have about 50,000 square feet of greenhouse, and everything we grow here is all organic, sun-grown, natural cannabis. We employ roughly about 48 people on the farm during planting season and harvest season, which would be springtime and then fall. That grows up to about between 70 and 80 people. Our March taxes that we paid, which is public record, you're welcome to look it up. We paid $757,000 in taxes for the month of March.
The tax revenues in Pueblo County from adult use cannabis have been a huge boon to our community. Right now, every single high school graduate who wants to attend a local college or university is guaranteed a scholarship when they graduate from high school because of a scholarship program that we set up. We have provided amenities for numerous parks and schools and roadways across the community.
So they're going to build some playgrounds, right? They're going to fix some parks. Great. It's not the silver bullet for our economic woes. Absolutely not. By the time you start paying the bureaucracy that you have built to regulate this industry, there's no money. In comparison to our budget, the budget of Pueblo County is $86 million. It's less than 0.5%. I mean, it sounds good on paper, but there's no money. Realistically, there's no money.
This lack of money isn't the only thing that law enforcement and pro-cannabis groups don't agree on.
They say crime is down since legalization, right? And they're correct. The law enforcement and the opponents of marijuana say crime is up since marijuana, and they are correct. The biggest issue that I'm dealing with in my agency is the clandestine marijuana grows. We've seen a lot of organized crime coming into our community. They're coming in here under the guise of medical marijuana, not recreational, and they're growing 300 to 500 plant grows legally. And it's not until they divert that product out of our state that it becomes illegal.
And it seems it's not just organized crime that legal weed has attracted to the area.
I have more patients with chronic medical problems who moved here in the hopes that marijuana would fix all that because that's what the industry is saying, and it's not true.
Karen works at one of the major hospitals in Pueblo. She says taxes raised by the new pot economy isn't solving problems or necessarily going to the right places.
I don't know where the money's going. I'm here, I'm the person in the street taking care of everybody, and I don't see any benefit. We've had a tremendous influx in population in the area, which has put a stressor on most of our services because we weren't a fabulously wealthy or rich community to begin with, and now we have a lot of extra people that we have to take care of. We've had probably over 100% capacity for the last year and a half, maybe almost 2 years now.
And in some ways, weed is creating more work for Pueblo's already stretched medical service.
The reality is that we are seeing them in the ER and they are overdosing. And no, can you overdose to the point of death? No, but you can totally overdose.
There is no lethal dose for cannabis. So given that you really can't overdose on cannabis, an increase in potency just means people have to use much less to get the effects we want. Do we have people abusing marijuana? Of course. There are always these people that have behavioral problems, but that's no different than the liquor cabinet, the gun cabinet, or the pharmaceuticals in your medicine chest.
Yes, I've heard this argument that marijuana is not a gateway drug, but actually when you're in the field and you're working with the people, and I've had the opportunity to say, what started this for you? And 100% of the time, 100% of the people that I've asked how they started on their meth career or their cocaine or their opiate career, every one of them has said, I started with marijuana.
People ask me, Caddy, do you believe cannabis is a gateway drug? My response to that is yes, it is a gateway drug. It's a gateway to freedom. Freedom from high anxiety, freedom from seizures, freedom from highly addictive, highly harmful pharmaceutical drugs.
I don't really know what to do. Me and my husband and my 5-year-old, we just came up here from Texas. We got here Saturday.
I'm looking for a home in a small kitchenette apartment.
I'm living in my van with the dog.
Pueblo is popular right now because people perceive Pueblo to be an affordable community, and at one point we are no longer.
Anne has been working with the homeless populations of Pueblo for around 30 years. She says there's not enough housing to accommodate the influx of cannabis-seeking citizens.
Do you get any other form of income? No.
And homeless shelters are all but full.
We have no shelter beds right now for single adults. We do have some shelter for families with children, but very minimal. And what breaks my heart is it used to be a tenet of this agency that we would make sure that no family in Pueblo with children was ever going to live in a car or be on the street. We can't do that anymore. And I can't even keep my staff safe right now.
Colorado's a beautiful place, and if I was homeless, I'd probably move to Colorado as well. I'd rather ask for money on the street and live in a state where I could get a recreational joint and smoke it.
We've actually seen no numbers to indicate that homelessness has increased. We have seen a dramatic increase in the population in Colorado, and so gross numbers of homelessness have increased, but it's also in proportion to the overall increase of population in Colorado.
The city's population has not tripled, yet the homeless population has tripled. And it's not just Posada saying that. Cannabis doesn't cause homelessness. I'm in agreement with that. However, policies that legalize cannabis in this state have led to kind of the perfect storm. And thus, we have a homeless population that is here for pot. And so, there's an increase. There's no doubt about that. Pueblo's always kind of been that one community that's just ready for the right thing. And I don't know that we found that right thing.
Building buildings, cleaning up property, employing people. That's what you need to spur an economy. And the fact is, we have a lot to be grateful for the outside infusion of capital. It's what's allowing growth to happen in Pueblo right now.